Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie and today I'm going to create some clean and simple, relatively quick Christmas cards. The inspiration for this particular design came from a recent trip to a garden centre where I saw some beautiful pastel coloured baubles for sale. I'll insert a photo so you can see what I mean. So I thought I'd create a Christmas card using some pastel colours. And I've got my distress oxides here. I've got spun sugar, scattered straw, cracked pistachio, salvage patina and shaded lilac. And I'm going to use the smushing technique, and this is my smusher. It is a bit of paper towel flattened, stuffed inside an old sandwich bag, and that's been gathered at the neck here, and I use it to pick up colour and smush it down. If you want me to do a video in which I show you how I actually make it, then let me know and I can do that for you. This is a piece of A4 smooth cardstock. Because the smushing technique doesn't use lots of water, I can get away without using mixed media paper. And I've divided this up into sections. They are 1.5 inches wide, high, and 6-ish inches wide. And I'm going to cut them up at the end into strips and use those on the front of a card, so I can get 10 out of a piece of A4 paper. So it's quite a good batch making technique. So what I'm going to do first is add my colour. I'm going to shift these off of here and do them one at a time. So I'm going to smush a bit down onto the paper. By the way, my neighbours are having some building work done and power tools keep sparking up. So if that happens and it gets really noisy, I will switch to voiceover, but we'll see how far we get with this. Add some water, get the smusher, and I'm going to smush down this side of the paper. And I'm going to do the same on this side. I might want a little bit more. This is ever such a pale pink. There we go, that's a bit stronger, that's what I wanted. So the sides are going to get a bit of pale pink. And now I'm going to dry it with my hairdryer. I'm going to add another amount to this, just because it is such a pale colour. I know I'm doing pastels, but I want a bit more colour there and a bit more definition. Some splodges there. Now we'll wipe away all the pink and get some yellow. Water and smush. And I'm going to do that with all the colours. So we'll pop you on fast forward. So there we have it, our smushed colour. I added some more pink in the middle here so that we're sort of back to where we started. This is going to be a panel for a card, so it goes from pink through the rainbow back to pink again. And what I want to do is add some circle shapes on, because this was inspired by a bauble display, and I'm going to use the same colours and add a couple of baubles. The pink doesn't show up very well. Well, it will when what's it called, spun sugar dries, it does tend to show up more. So this is just to add a little bit of texture, add some circles. So I'm going to do that with all the colours. I've also got some small circles here, and I'm going to dot those on as well. And I'm going to do that in all the colours. Whoops, so let's fast forward you again. I'm not being particularly precise with this, just making it look a bit kind of random. I'm not pressing too hard either. I'm not looking for perfectly solid circles, just the kind of hint at them. Because that pink is so light and some of those circles are so dark, I'm going to grab one lipstick and let's see if I can just have a few darker pink circles in there just to balance it out a bit. Now this is dry, I want to add some white splattering on top. So I've got a white Posca paint pen. This is a fairly old one, I think. It's basically run out, but I'll hopefully get a few splatters out of it. And I'm going to just tap it on my bone folder and see what happens. Well, that worked, but everything in my craft room is now covered in white splatters. Let's get that dry. So that's dry now, it's very dry, but I'm going to leave it for a bit longer because I want to do some heat embossing and I want all this ink that I've put on there to be completely dry so I don't get any of the powder stuck where I don't want it. But before I do that, I think I'll chop it up into its sections. So I've got my strips all cut out, all dry now, and I'm going to stamp and heat emboss sentiment. So my sentiment is going to be Christmas is here. These are from some L Studio Title Builder stamps, or stamp sets rather. And I'm going to pop my little strip in there. And so this is something, again, that's really easy to do in a batch. So you've got them all cut, you can do the heat embossing on all of them all in one go, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to give that a brush with my anti-static cornflower socky thing and get rid of any excess there. I've got Versamark ink, pop that on there and press that down. Sprinkle on some, this is Cosmic Shimmer Bright Gold Detail Embossing Powder. And I like this for sentiments because you get detail, as the name suggests. And it does come out nice and bright. I want to get rid of any stragglers on there. It doesn't have to be perfectly clean of excess powder. There we go. So I'm just going to do one because you don't want to watch me do all 10 of them. I'll do the rest later. So there it is, my lovely shimmery gold sentiment. So now I'm going to mount this onto some pastel card. This is very similar to the speckled egg colour, but if you didn't have the right colour card, you could just swipe some ink or blend some ink onto some white card and use that for mounting your strip. So I just want a couple of millimetres either side, but having this end flush with the paper. like that. And then again I want it flush at this end, so I can just chop that off there and take a bit off the edge, well, a lot off the edge, just so there's a couple of millimeters again on the bottom, so it's even. For my card base, I've got some hammered white cardstock that I've folded into a landscape tent fold card that is 6 inches across and about 4 inches high. And then I'm going to pop that on there. It's a little bit longer, but this edge here, I can see a bit of the blue peeking through. So I'm going to line it up there. On this edge, tuck all the little straggly tails of blue tape there. Down the bottom with a little bit, maybe 1/2 centimetre along there, so it's nice and level. And again, grab my trimmer, guillotine, and just take off that bit that was hanging over. And there we have the card. Now, just for a little bit of extra something, I'm going to pop some enamel dots on. I'm just thinking what colour. I might just stick with these little ones. I've got some brights and some pastels, and I think we'll do a mixture of them and just dot them around the Christmas, I think, really. Use some pink. The bright pink's not quite as pastel, but that's okay, they stand out well. And again, I'll use the bright yellow, and I'm going to pop some of the yellow on the pink and the pink on the yellow, I think, just to have a bit of variation and overlap between the colours. And then just the green, I think. Whoops, come on. Have some, is that too dark? This is a greeny blue. I'm not sure if it, oops. Come here. Doesn't want to. No, that's not quite the right colour. It works all right on that, but I think it's too dull for this. I think we'll just have maybe some green there. I wonder though, yeah, no, I don't think I don't know, maybe I want the red instead of the pink, just to help them stand out like the other colours. It looks a bit odd if you've got quite a pale pink but such a bold green. That's the colour I'm looking for. So move you, oops, slightly. Where did that go? That's the trouble with these little dots. If you ping them, they just disappear into the ether, or you find them stuck to you later on in the day, which is what happens to me regularly. My children have to check me before I leave the house. They do the washi tape check just to make sure that I've not got craft supplies stuck all over me. So here we have it. This is my bauble display inspired Christmas card. I think it's got lots of splashy energy, which I like, and the gold from the embossing, which is very Christmassy. And there's a subtle hint of bauble with those circle stamps that I used and the enamel dots. And it's still clean and simple because we've got all this empty space there and minimal layers really. There's the backing, there's the blue paper and the coloured paper, so only 3 layers including the card base. And I think it's a pretty good way of batch making your Christmas cards. If you've got lots to do, then you can make a page of colourful splashy rainbow watercolour really easily and really quickly. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do leave a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or comments, do leave them below and I will get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.